Really quick, I wanted to share with you guys my setup for online qualifiers. When you're competing in CrossFit, you often have to do an online qualifier remotely or a virtual qualifier in order to qualify for a big event. And you have to submit a video for review. And if you're doing an online qualifier that's really challenging, you want to make sure that your primary setup works and you have redundancy. So if something happens to this camera is constantly recording. I don't want to repeat one of these qualifier events because I had a technical malfunction. So I want to show you how I set this up, and I'm going to give you a list of all the parts in the description below as I show you how to set this up. And at the end, I'll share a couple of tips to make sure your devices are ready for your qualifier. Let's start with the tripod. Got that set up. This is the tripod mount right here. It has a little screw in it. This is a quick release for a camera. So I'm just gonna attach this on here. Goes on there just like that. Attach this into the tripod. So this snaps right into here. Okay. To take this off, I'm gonna attach the iPhone mount to it. This iPhone mount has a hot shoe adapter on the top. That's very important. And then that's going to attach just like that. Next is this hot shoe mount to 1/4-inch connector. That's what we need right there. That screws on there. Attach that nice and tight right there. Next we've got our GoPro. Going to attach GoPro's right on there. Now this screws on to this. This is what we have right now. Looking pretty good. The iPhone goes in just like that. I can set this up exactly where I want it on the floor to make sure that everything is covered according to the specifications given by the online qualifier. Then I can take this off so I can walk closer to measure my weights, measure my distances, so I prove that all of those are correct, and then this goes right back into the mount where it should be set up perfectly to cover the entire event. Going into the weekend, I'm gonna make sure that I've got all the space I need on my GoPro. So I actually just delete everything off of my GoPro going into this weekend. At the highest recording rate, with the 512 gigabyte card in here, I have 7 hours of space available for storage. That's plenty for this weekend. If you have an iPhone or any kind of a smartphone, just go into the settings and check the storage. So in an iPhone, it's check the iPhone storage. In there, it looks like I have about 200 gigabytes free for the weekend. That is plenty of space on an iPhone for the 4 to 5 tests that we'll have this weekend. But just to make sure I'm free and clear, I do see that I have 90 gigabytes worth of podcasts downloaded. I'm gonna go ahead and clear out all of my podcast downloads. Probably overkill. I won't need those 90 gigabytes, but I'm not going to run out. Just gonna make sure that I'm covered. And that's what you do. You just make sure you have ample battery life, you have ample storage, and make sure that both my devices are charged up fully before I go in tomorrow and before I go in Saturday. It's a 2-day competition. And while I'm doing the qualifiers, not only am I gonna have this equipment with me, I'm gonna have my chargers with me for the phone, for the GoPro as well, in case I need to top off those batteries. I'm also gonna have my laptop with me. So if there's a little bit of time between an event and the next event, I'm gonna go ahead and transfer all of the videos from my devices here to my laptop so that I actually have them in 2 places at that point. And before I go to sleep each night of the qualifier, I will make sure that all of these videos that have been backed up to my computer are also backed up to YouTube. So at that point, I actually have each video in 3 different places: on the device, on the computer, in the cloud. Maybe that's slight overkill, but I'm not losing any of these videos. I'm not gonna have any issues with my qualification because of a tech issue. So that's it. This is a really fun setup. You can set up 2 tripods. It's not a big deal. You don't have to have my mega tripod setup. Just make sure you have 2 cameras where they're supposed to be set up according to the standards for the event. I wanted to share that with you. Hope that's helpful. If you found it helpful and know someone that needs to see this, share it with them. And as always, your best years are ahead of you. Get bolder, not older.